Namaste. Om Namah Shivaya. Why is India known as the land of spirituality? What's so special about India that since centuries, hundreds of travelers from across the globe have been coming to India in search of enlightenment, in search of God? Today I want to share with you the spiritual legacy, the heritage that India possesses, and no country in the world can boast of this unparalleled legacy. India has produced hundreds of enlightened beings, from ancient sages to profound spiritual masters like Gautam Buddha, Mahavir, Adi Shankaracharya, Patanjali, and the contemporary ones like Paramahansa Yogananda, who took yoga to the West. In fact, Paramahansa Yogananda is the first one who introduced yoga to America. Sri Raman Maharishi, Ramakrishna Paramhans, Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda needs no introduction. He is the one who introduced Hinduism to the world. They have selflessly dedicated their lives in the pursuit of truth and self-realization. Their profound teachings have not only transformed the lives of millions, but have also become beacon of wisdom for seekers worldwide. See, India is often referred as the land of spirituality because it has a rich and ancient spiritual tradition that dates back to thousands of years. It's a land of wisdom, and it has been long known as cradle of God realization. While the Western world has excelled in material advancements, many technological advancements, scientific developments, but India's ancient sages made the most profound discovery. Now, what's that discovery? The method to find and realize God. Can there be any bigger advancement than this? This divine quest has been passed down through our scriptures and spiritual practices, and it has set India apart as a spiritual powerhouse. As the world faces challenges of modernity, it often seeks solace in India's spirituality, because India offers a guiding light for humanity. It is India's deep-rooted spiritual heritage that has contributed to its identity as a spiritual powerhouse of the world. While the West focused on material advancements, we dedicated ourselves in exploring the inner realms of consciousness and nurturing spiritual scientists in the form of swamis and enlightened beings. See, you will never find this kind of unwavering commitment to spirituality anywhere in the world, and that sets India apart. That makes India a beacon of wisdom and compassion. In an era which is plagued by violence and unrest, it's India's spiritual legacy that offers a ray of hope, that presents the world with a path to peace and higher understanding. Now let's talk about India's depository of spiritual wisdom, which is unparalleled. India's spiritual journey can be traced back to ancient times. When the sacred scriptures like Vedas, Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, they were all born. Vedas, the oldest sacred texts which are known to humanity. They contain profound insights to the mystery of life and this universe. The Upanishads, which are actually the end of Vedas, the summary of Vedas, delve deep into the depths of philosophy, exploring the nature of our life and exploring the nature of ultimate reality, which is God. Then we have Agams, we have Purans, we have Tantra. So all together, we have rich spiritual knowledge which has been guiding seekers on the path to divine realization. Now, these timeless texts, which carry the philosophy of life, consciousness, and interconnectedness of the entire universe, you will never find this anywhere else in the world. Yoga, Yog, it's another gift from ancient India, from our ancient rishis. It's a spiritual science that helps in harmonizing our body, mind and soul. And it offers a path to inner peace and spiritual growth. Yoga's timeless teachings have resonated across the ages, and it continues to inspire people worldwide. This spiritual practice of yoga, meditation, and devotion have been passed down through generations, and it cultivates values of inner growth and self-realization within us. India's spiritual maturity and depth have earned it the title of a developed country in the realm of spirituality. See, when Swami Vivekananda introduced Hinduism to the world in his famous speech in Chicago, what did he say? He said, "I belong to the nation which is materialistically poor, but a highly advanced spiritual nation." So that's India's legacy. The country's heritage of compassion, tolerance, and wisdom has endured through the ages, shaping the moral fabric of its society. The spiritual development has enriched the lives of people, not just in India, but anyone who has acquired this knowledge. India's spiritual greatness can be attributed to the visionary sages of ancient times. Now, these enlightened beings possessed profound insights into the nature of existence, and they recognized the cyclical nature of ages. Somewhere, our rishis, they knew that the world would enter a dark age. They foresaw the need for spiritual power because somewhere they knew that we are entering into a highly materialistic world and the humanity would need spirituality. Bhagavad Gita has a divine dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, where Sri Krishna imparts spiritual wisdom to guide Arjuna through those challenging times. This timeless teaching is a testament to India's understanding of the balance between material and spiritual aspects of life. Because what Sri Krishna does in Bhagavad Gita, he explains the balance between karma and dharma to Arjuna. Similarly, India's sages developed deep into the mysteries of existence and discovered various paths to realize God. Look at all the practices that we have. The practice of yoga, meditation, bhakti, which is devotion, gyan, which is knowledge. All these paths are meant for taking seekers to the world of spirituality. All these paths help seekers in transcending their mind. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra and Upanishad, which are the foundational texts, they provide systematic approach to God realization. This is how I look at it, that India is a magnet for seekers worldwide. It is India's spiritual magnetism that has drawn seekers from across the globe throughout the history. I mean, look at history, you can find numerous examples. So many eminent people like George Harrison from America, Lao Tzu from China, and in recent times, Steve Jobs. They have all sought spiritual solace and wisdom in India. These seekers were inspired by India's spiritual heritage. See, all of them, they belong to developed world. Why did they come to India? What brought them to India? Have you ever seen any Indian going out of India in search of God? While Indians venture out in search of material opportunities. But the world seeks India as a heaven for spiritual awakening. So the world comes here for realizing God. India is the land that has given birth to saints, to sages and enlightened beings. For all the seekers, India automatically becomes a pilgrimage for the ones who are yearning to experience the divine, for those who are yearning for truth. One example that I can think of is of that famous Beatles group, George Harrison, the legendary musician. Who doesn't know George Harrison? He embraced India's spirituality. He studied, India's scriptures. He came to Rishikesh. He took teachings of Vedanta. His journey to India significantly influenced his music and his personal philosophy. In fact, many credit him for introducing Rishikesh to the world. So in the fast-paced modern world, where stress and distraction too much, India's spiritual heritage becomes a sanctuary for seekers in search of solace and meaning. And you know what makes India the spiritual power? From where does India get this spiritual power? If you look at India's history of last 1000 years, India has been attacked by foreigners, be it the Turkeys, the Mughals or the Britishers. India has been attacked numerous times. India's architecture, India's temples have been attacked. But still, India, Bharat, the great civilization, the civilization which takes pride in its 5,000 years of roots, is still standing strong. From where does India get this resilience? From where does India get this spiritual power? The spiritual power comes because if you look at it, India has never harmed any other nation. While it has been conquered, but India has herself never conquered any nation's territory. It has never tried to harm any other nation. And that's India's divine karmas, which has elevated India's spiritual power. And that's what makes India the land of spirituality.